It's Memorial Day weekend for some. And went into some of the religious energies here and there. Spring cleaning. Priscilla's here. She's running around like it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's almost like 1 o'clock, or no, yeah, well, it's after midnight. She ran over here to take a bath. running around like she's nuts, and now she's taking a bath. So, living the life. If only Paris Hilton had that life. Yeah. Up the game there. Competition. So yeah, like alien, not just alien, Illuminati religions. It comes, obviously there's different beings and all that, but to focus on the Orion energy, so they're like to religiously manipulate our reality. So yeah, so this is another reason why things are so complicated. And of course, I live also by Scientology. I've never lived this close. I mean, ever since I've been here, I've been closer to those guys. I've known about them before, obviously, and everything about them. Almost as like a reminder of, the spiritual communities are like that too. Some of them are. Some of them are just figuring things out. They're just lost. That's one thing. But others are like little mini Scientology groups. Some of the SSP groups are like that. Little Scientology, mini me's. Even some of these spiritual organizers, healers, whatever. Like many L. Ron Hubbards, the mini me's of L. Ron Hubbard, and they can bring all this. They can be male or female; it doesn't really matter. They can bring all this great information, but still be very controlling and manipulative and things like that. So, bringing all. I mean, they might have all this knowledge, but then they're carrying around all their baggage and they're throwing it on everybody. Of course, then again, there's some that just can't help it. That's one thing. Some just got all their shit and they just can't clear it. And they can help everyone but themselves. That's one thing. But the L. Ron Hubbard mini-me's that are out there, like I said, with SSP stuff. And you have good people that, Scientology is full of good people, and now they're stuck there. So same thing with, of course, the SSP stuff. It's just, it's a learning experience. Damn. You go from religion to a cult, you go from one cult to the other, basically. You go from, mainstream religion to small niche cult leaders that are just, that use attractiveness, look like the everyday man, have attractive girlfriend or whatever next to them, just keep selling. The good people, part of these groups, have no idea, just not seeing it. So yeah, society has good intentions, but still has a lot to fucking learn. And there's Priscilla. Hello, how are you? How was that bath? Just walk anywhere and just take a bath in front of anybody. Of course, I'm the only one here. Run around and jump on everything. Who can do that? Jump on the counter. I said jump on the refrigerator to stop doing that. That's why she got her name. Well, her name came before, but it made sense. First one on the refrigerator is, owner of this place, I guess. So I thought. So let's see here. Disclosure energies, yeah. See, it comes through just to mention it, even if there's nothing to offer. There is absolutely no. I mean, this is all disclosure, but it's also not really nothing to show, really. Not particularly, just same old. Of course, dismantling of our reality is quite the watch. Like with Apple might go down, at least the conversation of course, that's just market watch, but still, it's done. It happened before. It can happen again. So, and there's no innovation. There's absolutely nothing there. It's like selling microwave ovens at this point. Just changing the color of it, warms up a little bit faster. That's about it. Nothing much new to offer. So they're supposed to come up with somebody is supposed to come up with something like beyond the phone, but it's, I don't know, maybe we'll just get a robot. I don't know. You can't be. The phone is it's a tool basically. Of course, the entertainment center too, but still, it's also it's a media kit. It's just convenient. Yeah, it's terrible. We're all looking at it, but whatever. Society sucks anyway. You can't talk to people anyway. Talk to your phone, or sleep, or whatever. Talk to your. It's not like you can bring your cat anywhere. Of course, you can bring your dog almost everywhere. You be talking to your dog instead. Can't always do that. You can't take your dog to work. People take their dog to work. Be talking to their dog. Who gives a damn about the fucking phone? Of course, there's only so much you can say. So there's so much you can say to an animal. At least physical. At least on a verbal side, on a telepathic side. But even then, so. So I guess I don't think I can think of it. We'll just get a robot one day. Even said that on the news. It's like, so how's that gonna work? Maybe I guess get a robot maid or something like that, or a butler. Maybe that'd be the next big thing. Something like that. Who knows? Come from China and that the thing will fall apart as soon as you get it, or who knows? They already have robot taxis and things like that. I think. They got everything. I guess, yeah, China has everything, all the new stuff. Well, it's under control, too. It's under control of the government. The government's very authoritarian, so, yeah, they have room to experiment. Our government's just more on a self-destructive level, just like society. It's just there to destroy itself. So, and of course, it's a little bit liberal and all that, but, whatever. It's a reflection of society. And China, I mean, I haven't looked up China and their advancements. But yeah, but that's the thing. It can be a brave new world. You can have all these advanced technologies, but there's also another side, so it's not perfect. So nothing is, but either way, but yeah, the religious energies, obviously you see that on spirituality as it might come off as good intentions, and sometimes it does. But yeah, it's just you get these spiritual overlords that come in. They can look like their everyday guy, which is even worse. And just say, hey, I'm just like you. But it's like I say, Scientology was the same thing. So Scientology was supposed this new hip thing before the internet showed up and said, by the way, they're all praying to some Xenu thing. I'm even close by to Tom Cruise lives out here too. So I'm kind of like his neighbor, not really. So there's some weird thing there too. It's like I've driven by it. It does have an apartment here. It doesn't look like much on the outside. It looks very plain. Then again, it kind of goes with the person. Of course, you have to have like a maximum security thing. Like anybody gives a shit. But when you think you're an overlord of the planet, so that's slim livings actually compared to when you think you're god of the world. But whatever. So And also go into some of the disclosure energies, if there are any, and Agarthian frequency, whatever it is. I don't connect to Agarthians all that much. Of course, also the aliens do have their ships above shopping centers. Of course, they have all major cities and all. They just don't see them. The shopping center stuff's been showing up recently. I haven't seen it, but you can kind of feel the presence of it. Just doesn't mean they become shopaholics. I mean, maybe they do, but they're just. I mean, yeah, it's one of those town centers where they can just. I mean, always I feel from because when I get close to the Bible, I can just feel the alien vibes increase. It's just kind of like a town square type thing. People just go there to shop, not doing anything. But it's just a way for the alien beings to scan the frequencies that are here, just to get a read of what's happening here. That's all. Not to spy on anyone, but you just feel just read the frequencies of it. Just and also, they're protecting us to the best of their ability, what they can do. They have to. Some portal doesn't open up, some kind of psychopath comes through there. So. Disrupt our mundane existence here. Happens every now and then, but still, so you can keep an eye on the vibes. I imagine they do rotate here and there. Of course, it's much different there. I feel like they do see us as fascinating, as boring as we might seem. Just what we put up with and everything, and how disconnected we are from the universe and everything, is quite what we find important. And the rest of the universe can give a shit. Nothing wrong with that. You gotta do what you gotta do. I feel like the aliens do find it fascinating how we're just disconnected. We have no interest, most have no interest in the universe, other planets. They don't give a shit about anything. Just living the mundane existence, which is nothing wrong with that. Of course, even the aliens, they're connected to their fourth dimension reality. It's not obviously there's other beings that know a lot more than they do, and so on. So, it's evolution. So, all right, to go into alien. Is anything it has to say about disclosure, whatever it might be. Just connect to alien consciousness, not the being in particular. We just leave it open, just leave it like alien consciousness and see what that has to say. Just keep it general, and go to Agarthian frequency. Yeah. Okay. All right. Those things. Greetings, alien consciousness. Basically, we are a fragment of all different beings. Yes, at a fourth and fifth dimensional level, you can name us what you choose to name. You need names from what we're gathering. Of course, you're not always aware of. Some of you are aware of frequency, of course. We would not be here. He's listening to this, but of course, your regular, your normal, casual human is just they just have their minds on what they have to sort out here. Let's put it that way. They're what's in their reality. Have to sort out. Those that they added to their incarnation. And okay, now what do I do with these people? Relatives, friends, and so on. Trying to make something of it, and also survive here through some kind of job. Yes, they have economic worries and all of that, which is understood, but also it's a challenge. It's just it's like you have I wouldn't call it a report card, but it's kind of like everyone's challenging themselves, so you kind of run through your own report card, you can say, of the challenges you've been through. Okay, I'm going to be human and disconnected from everything. Can I get through Aunt Martha and her bad cooking and so on, or whatever? Or, just the little challenges. Of course, there's still major ones, especially if you buy a home and things like that, or travel around the world. A challenge of awakening, breaking out of the third dimension realities, and then going through fourth dimensional challenges. Your ascension challenges, and now you're becoming more aware of your multidimensional self, and now you're a human. So you kind of have two identities. You have this human version, now you have this galactic version or spiritual version. And it's always, you just become more aware of it. Of course, everyone has it, they're just not, a lot more afraid of it. Others are just bored of it. They have more interest in the physical, because the physical, you can say in some ways, for some, it's kind of like you're in a toy box, a physical toy box. It's like, well, we have buses, we got cars, we got all these weird things here. Got a TV over there. It looks, there's all these little, gadgets here, and how you sort it out. And some are more attracted to the gadgets than there are people, because people have more complicated than a gadget. It's like, I'll just deal with a remote control with my TV, and you can deal with all those people over there. Because when you deal with people, obviously it's a lot more complicated. You bring all their energies in, and you're just pulled into the abyss of everyone. It's just, can you get yourself out? Can you keep your own thoughts cleared as they're trying to put thoughts, agendas into your mind? Not necessarily trying to manipulate. Some are. Others are just, some people are just, what the word is, wacky. Wacky people. And they just don't know any better about what they're capable of here. And even when you bring up higher dimensional knowledge, of course, it's almost laughable bringing it up. Telepathic abilities, lasers with your eyes and so on, whatever it might be. Obviously, your average human's like looking at you like you're out of your freaking mind. So, cut down from higher dimensional thinking. And it's primitive but necessary. Well, also they're battling their dark side here and healing the dark elements that are lost. But also it is those that are incarnated are here to assist those that are lost here to find their way out. Yes, I have a kid that's completely insane and yes, could be demonically possessed. There to find their help find their way here, or to unpossess them, but not even aware of even doing it, just sort of just helping them through their struggles in life. Obviously, the children that have like all these vices and just get into the bad crowds very quickly shows they have like a connection to the lower dimensions that they haven't quite cleared out. So this is why this world continues in its route, because it's not. Your connection with let's put it this way, your connection to the world is not fully understood. Many of you are working on that right now. You have different versions of it. At least you're looking into it. While most society just takes for whatever it is. They're going by what's in your religious texts and all that, which doesn't always make a whole lot of sense. Which shows that they're not ready to understand your world. Like the Agarthian frequencies can be more complicated than your reality. The elves and dragons, where do you think a lot of this comes from? It's you're a version of human, because they're an elemental version of human. You are the human or the galactic, however you want to word it. The dragons and Agartha, all of that can be more complicated than your planet, because they have all these powers. You see in Lord of the Rings and things like that. That's like one example, but there's many more. Opening up portals to other worlds and getting to the deer people and so on. Having a castle and having some kind of princess there that doesn't know what the hell she's doing half the time, or their abilities. So it can be a lot more. So there are realms that are, that some of you are tapping into, and the human is more the diluted version, a cut down version of Agarthian frequencies, and this is where you're going to slowly open up to. But yes, it can be more psychotic. Elves can be worse. The tree elves can be, more vicious. It's just that they're aware of their magic. They're aware. They're more open-minded to who they are, and your society has been shut down. So it's also a wake-up call for your Agarthian worlds to be just a little more humbled about their abilities. Like, wow, are we that psychotic? Yes, some of them are. And they're actually here to assist your world. It's like, yeah, so your version of human is going through our stuff in your own way, in a very primitive way. But it just shows that the Garthians have so much wickedness, not all of them, but there's a lot of it there. You've seen Lord of the Rings with the ring and kind of a hell realm, literally. And and you have that here to some level, but basically here to sort out your differences. And the human here is to tap more into its potential. You can say become more Agarthian, become more, as many of you know, more aware, open up one's mind to one's possibilities. But once again, once you open it up, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with it. Most of society just, they can't handle the telepathy abilities and even shifting realities and things like that. At least on and you do it, but you're not aware of it. When you become more aware of it, it's a lot to take in. And society is not quite there to clear it. But basically, you're educating yourself about the multidimensional realms and how this world takes a lot of heat of how complicated it is, and it's this negative place and all that. But once again, Agartha, as some of you tap into it, can be very more extreme. And the beings running your planet, your Ryans, can be more extreme. Yeah, just let them all burn, basically. And what's this happening now, technically? I mean, literally to turn your planet into a prison planet. Who has the, what is it called, balls to do that? Most of your people here would not do that. They'll live through it, but most of your world, as backward as your society is, most would not want to do that. Obviously, there's some that would, but this shows you the twistedness of your universe. And slowly you're opening up your eyes to how off it is. So once again, being a human here in the physical living, just the everyday life, maybe is safer that way for now. But slowly you're opening up different realms, and it's a lot to take in. As some of you know, you're going through your growth. It's like it's a lot. Well, I think some of you know you might not be aware of how much a lot is, but it's a lot. And you're helping your realm kind of just warm up to it at some point. You're just laying it out there. There's no right or wrong, of course.